It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you from the Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. It's going to be a no excuses day today, David
It
Bates.
absolutely is, because even though there's a few clouds rolling back in, and we have considerable cloudiness early, we had a nice little break, and we've got a reasonable break right now.
Yes.
There will be clouds rolling in through the day, but I will tell you this, the high temperatures you might have gotten somewhat accustomed to over the week past is gone, and there's really no mention of any temperature in the forthcoming week that has a 9 in front of it or
That's
higher.
a good thing.
That's a very good thing. And today we're looking at late afternoon showers and 86 degrees for the high temperature. Yesterday was just glorious. I mean, it was so nice to be able to just be out, breathe and do, and everyone is, it just makes for the general mood improvement when everyone is not feeling stressed by the heat. So we're grateful for that. And what we're also grateful for is the abundance of apparent rainfall in the forecast daily. At least a tenth or more every day, most days, multiple tenths. And we'll see how that all pans out. Sunday, 87 and 70 for the overnight low, 87 and 70 again for Monday, 83 and 70 for Tuesday, 86 and 70 for Wednesday, 84, here's the departure. It's only going to be 69 on Thursday.
Where?
On Thursday.
Where?
And then 86, 70 again on Friday, 89, 72 on Saturday of next week. We'll see how that pans out. But it's really a great forecast. What it means is by this time next week, pretty much everyone will have gotten some rain. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to get rain every day. But it does mean that the chances are good for everyone. Let's look at the radar here, and we will see that going out to the Midwest and moving this direction, you'll see concentrated showers south and east of us, and those are kind of moving up and away throughout the day. We don't have a lot of activity. Looks like this might formulate into a little something later on in the day, but doesn't look like it's going to be an extreme amount of precipitation, at least not at this stage of the game throughout the daytime hours. We have had here at Bates Nursery a bit of rain this week. We got 93 hundredths earlier in the week. It gets us up to 1.25 for the month, almost 31.5 for the year. It's currently about 76 degrees here in Music City, live from the Green Room at Bates Nursery and Gardens.
Better get some rain, because I need to check and make sure that rain gauge I bought from Bates works. Because I'm not sure that it actually operates, David. I mean, it's not collecting any precipitation.
You could test it with a garden hose.
That's not how that. No.
If it makes you feel better, just put an inch of rain in and go, whew, glad we got that. That was easy.
Nah.
Okay. It doesn't really work that way.
No, it doesn't.
But what does work?
What works?
Is the exchange of information that we have here on Gardening Inside Out. And we have a cast of capable participants who provide not only questions that have come in from our viewers, but also answers to those questions. So we're going to get into that. Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen, welcome in, guys.
Good morning.
And, of course, the guy who makes it all happen for us, and he is live today.
He is live.
Tyler Blankenship.
See, it says right there, he's live.
He's live. Yeah, we're not going to use pre-recorded Tyler Cam. It's live.
Nope, I'm really real.
So
make a wish, y'all.
So there you go. And we're glad to have all of you out there in the viewing audience today. And we're also grateful to be this far along on our little project we've had going on throughout the month of July.
Little project, David.
It's not been little.
Everyone has been participating. I mean, it's taken a full court press in order to make it happen, and we'll delve more into that. But thank you guys for your contributions to that this week. It was no little amount of work, and there's still more to do, but you can begin to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's not a train. Okay,
Nope.
it's not a train at the end of the tunnel.
And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we have the 49-year-old pavement that we have had here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center that has been resealed, cracks filled, patched holes, both concrete and pavement. I mean, it's became a hodgepodge, and so much so that many people who had plants on carts, even with these pneumatic tired carts we have, plants would want to bounce off of them because it was not smooth anymore.
I've been a victim of that in the past.
Well, most everyone who
Yes.
has shopped here has at some point. So what we're doing is we're completely adding a 2-inch layer of new pavement to the existing pavement. And we have the far side of the garden center that's all connected to the Bates trim area.
Yes.
And the greenhouses and perennials, all that's already been done.
Yep.
We have moved everything over to that side. So we already are simulating full out wonderful shopping
Yes.
conditions, but it's only halfway. We got this other half to get done in about a week. We're looking forward to getting that behind us so that we can kind of get on with what we're really all about. And it's not about paving.
No.
It's about plants and how to help you grow them the very best. So, what else you got on it, guys?
Well, for us, it's been pottery. And you
So
know what,
much
y'all?
pottery.
We've got our pottery 40% off right now. 40%. Like, that's a big number. That's almost 50.
All the
That's the way
pottery
I
in the
think about it.
parking lot.
Yes.
It's 80% of the way to 50.
Yeah. Great point, David. And we spent, what,
2 days.
full
two
days
full days.
moving all of the pottery out to the parking lot for y'all to shop it easily. And that's
y'all
what
need
we've
to
been
come
up to.
buy it all so we don't have to
I
move
might
it
as
all
well
back.
just show the photo.
Yes. There it is, Tyler.
I mean, and that,
That's not all of it. That's
Well,
not
well, I
all.
mean,
That is all that's in the
Is it
parking lot
really-
sale.
Really?
well,
Yes.
it's just that's a long range shot.
It's
so
really
you-
hard to get it all in
It's
a
a-
photo.
It's a triple row.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like just two, but it's actually three.
There's a third row out there in
There is.
front
But
of
there
that.
are some great pots. You guys, I mean, Austin and I unpacked these as well as a lot of other staff members here, and they're all high quality, I mean,
Well,
gorgeous ceramic pots.
Yeah, the difficulty is that they are ceramic, so moving them cannot be done hurriedly. You have to take
No, it
time
can't.
because we're not, they're not damaged. That we successfully moved them all without there being issues to the quality in any way. Pots are having those at 40% off is all well and good, but it means little if you don't have something to actually put in them.
Exactly.
So we've got also this is the parking lot
Palooza.
pottery palooza
Plus
plus
Proganics.
Proganics. You can get all of our
Lot of-
peas in there.
Boy,
and,
good thing we got these
Yeah,
pop filters
yeah,
on there. today.
right. So what that means is whether you're wanting to buy them with either indoor plants or for outdoor use, the soils are covered also at 40% off. So it's a great opportunity. We invite you to come out and see us. We're here till 4 o'clock today. So
Yep.
you got all day. We'll be open here in less than an hour. So we look forward to seeing you and helping you with that, as well as all the other plant things we have that are possibilities
There
for
are
those
very
pots.
there are very few colors that aren't represented out there. There are very few shapes that aren't represented out there. There are very few sizes that are not represented out there.
Textures.
Textures
Oh
for sure.
my goodness!
It's
yes,
all out there. Y'all just come look at it and buy a lot of it so we don't have to move it back.
You know,
And you'll save yourself some money.
if I owned a commercial business where they were looking for solutions for a BAP, you know what I mean by that, David?
That's a
Big,
Bountiful.
big
big
A pot.
pot, a big pot.
Okay. Where you could put a feature out in front of your business. They got them.
Yeah.
My gosh, there's some huge ones out
Yep.
there.
So anyway, come get
There
'em.
are. Well, Emily Boyd on our Facebook page says the new pavement is great. My plants enjoyed the smooth ride to checkout.
Hey.
Thanks,
So it's
Emily.
not even fully done yet, and people are already loving it.
Yeah, and speaking of checkout, there will be some changes that we're going to be making some point because the areas leading directly into our checkout areas are also going to be disrupted for some days. So we will be redirecting people to park on the new north end parking lot as soon as we get the benches out of there and create some parking room, because the benches have to go back in the greenhouse. So we've got all these interconnected, move this to here to get this to here, and the sun and shade perennials have got to be moved back in because there's quite a lot going on, and we're trying to seize the opportunity and maximize the best result. So
Carpe diem, huh?
we're going to be encouraging folks to come out and see us and give us a couple of weeks. It should all be getting close to normal again.
Yep, there's still plants out there, folks.
Oh, we got
we got tons.
We got lots of plants. It's just that they're not all up on the lot. We have, and Ryan has done a great job out in the base trim area to bring other things up to fill out our display in that new area that has been recently redone and restriped. And thanks to him, he and I worked together last Saturday to lay out the new lines to make sure we had proper bed spacing and to make sure also that there's no post or sprinkler heads in the aisleways. It's not as easy as it looks. It took us more than 2 hours to kind of figure out
really good
where we're going to make our concessions and all of that. So it worked out well, and
It looks fantastic, and there's so many cool plants in there. And speaking of cool plants,
Speaking of,
we got some cool plant questions.
Oh, boy.
Are we ready?
Let's do it.
All right. What is a pretty flowering plant that will be in bloom in October? I know Ann in our office would have one.
She would. Mm-hmm. And I know what it would be.
What
I know
would
where
it
you're
be?
going. It's called bush lespedeza.
I need one.
And this is random. This is a random shrub. It's a big, large growing shrub that all comes back from the ground and not the sticks every year. So it's like kind of a very warm season loving plant.
It's an erosion control plant in many applications, correct?
It is. Yeah, and lespedeza is used by farmers a lot of times as like a cover crop. It's a totally different type. But there's a lot of different varieties of that. But the bush lespedeza that we saw, I think the one that she grows and really likes is little volcano.
Yeah.
And it's an October blooming plant.
If you go to the Bates website and you look up that plant, one of the photos is a photo of hers. So you can see what it's like in real life.
You know, back in the day, and I'm talking many, many moons ago, we used to do hydro seeding, which is the big tank that you can pump seed and fertilizer and mulch all out together in one shot. So Cerisa lespedeza was one of the things that we would do for erosion control situations.
Cerisa lespedeza.
Along with crown vetch, which you have to put an inoculant in. So there's I kind of miss doing that, but not really.
Not really.
Because if you drop a wrench down in that tank when you've got everything in there,
You have to make sure you reach down in there and get it.
No, you have to get in the tank. It's an 800-gallon tank, so you have to turn everything off. It's
like a swimming pool there.
It's not a good feeling, but
doesn't seem like it. But that is one. Are there any other recommendations for October blooming plants? What's going on over here?
Nothing.
I was trying to get Austin
throwing notes back and forth.
I was trying to get Austin to spell lespedeza because I
pay no
want people
attention to that man behind the curtain.
I think I spelled it right, and I tried to show it to him, and then y'all saw that.
Oh, I thought that was
You caught
for
him.
the viewer, so I was going to zoom in on it.
Go ahead and
What else
bring it up
blooms
there.
late, though? I mean, gosh, there's not. I mean, mums.
My Sheffield pink blooms late, but
yeah.
mine is in more shade than a lot of others. So some I think are actually about to start blooming, but mine is more of a fall bloomer because it only gets part sun.
That's a good point. And she's talking about the best mum on the market.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Sheffield pink
Tell 'em.
chrysanthemum. It's like a little shrub. So the first time I planted it, it was a little 1-gallon pot, just a little guy.
Then it got over it.
And then it got over it. It is like a huge shrub now. It's probably about yay tall, if you can see that. And I mean, it's
That's
covered
not the, that's the
in
metric
bloom.
yay, David.
Yay.
Okay,
It's the metric yay.
Okay.
Covered in blooms when it's in full bloom.
Never
I love
confuse
it.
that with the imperial.
No.
Yay.
But it also is really easy to just pull some up and stick them somewhere else or give to a friend.
Oh, mums root so easily.
So
This
easily.
is So just.
And that's another Ann plant.
Yes.
So it looks like we need to bring Ann on the show to talk
Shout
about
out, Ann.
fall
You know what?
blooming plants.
Ann,
I
just come on
love
in.
Ann. Yeah, come on. Come through that door. I know you're watching right now.
Plus, that Sheffield pink mum is the softest, cutest pink on the market.
It really is.
It's so good. Y'all need to be growing it. I'm telling you.
Get on out here. I don't know if we have any right now, but
We don't.
oh, don't come out here to
Get on
some.
out here to talk about it.
I'll
with
tell
us.
Julie. She'll buy some.
Well, speaking of talking to Julie about buying some, we've kind of had to curtail our rotation and purchasing of plants while we're doing this whole paving thing. So because we literally don't have spots to put all the plants that we would normally carry. So in 2 weeks, the week following we're getting all of our new pavement and striping done, you will see a lot of new things rolling in. So that's
Exciting.
yeah. We're all kind of excited about it because we're not used to not having trucks all the time, but it's been necessary to kind of curtail that for a bit.
Yeah, it has been. All right, recommendations for part shade plants other than hosta and heuchera. Ferns. That's another one.
Ferns are great. We've got sedge in the studio today.
The studio.
Yes. Oh, they're pretty though. They're nice.
They are. They
what
kind of
is sedge?
spill over.
I mean,
Austin's been messing with them all morning, like
Yeah.
a cat over here, because they're all over our side of the table.
Yeah, even Cleara back here, although it can handle full sun, it's a fairly shade tolerant plant.
Yeah.
But other things such as Akuba, which is can do dense, heavy shade.
Yeah.
There are actually quite a lot of choices.
No, you just nailed it. Yeah, like part shade is great. There's tons of plants that can live in the full sun, but also can handle part shade.
Part shade.
And then there's
I
plenty
have
of shade
so many in
plants.
part shade. I just talked about my Sheffield pink mom is in part shade.
I mean, there is so much overlap in the plant world on sun to shade, okay?
There is.
Now, we can't put a full shade plant in the sun. We're not going to do that. But we can put a full sun plant in a part shade environment.
Right.
It's okay with
a
that.
lot of my hydrangeas.
I was
Josh,
talking to
you
Ryan.
should have planted yours in more shade.
Yeah, I know. We're working
talk
on
about it every
My
week, but-
shamrocks love part
Yep.
shade.
We're actually doing a rather large part shade experiment on sun plants right now.
We are.
Where we've got a lot of our conifers that we would normally have in full sun now in part shade because that's where our structure is. And so we're having to, but a couple of weeks in shade is not going to do anything to them.
Not at all. They're probably going to be like, cool. It's a little hot on this
Nice.
asphalt.
Yeah.
Real cool. All right, we got a live question in from Joan. Good morning, Joan.
Hello, Joan.
Joan says, I had 2 dead trees / stumps removed, a very large ash and a birch. When can I plant in that space where the birch was, and when can I sow grass seed in the area where ash was?
Did we get all of the dregs from the stump grinding out of the pile?
That's usually the first question.
That's usually, the first kind of key is like getting all that kind of clean.
Gone.
I will tell you, I had a, quote, tree man tell me one time that, you don't have to worry about getting that out of there.
You mean Bubba? It'll rot right in the ground,
you
won't
can
it,
put
man?
tomatoes in there, and
Yeah, man.
they'll
It'll go.
literally, they tell them they'll grow as big as your head. And I just go, that is such a lie.
Okay.
Not this phenomenon of decomposition, also known as nitrogen fixation.
I get fixated about it.
When that organic material is breaking down, it's taking nitrogen from somewhere, from the air and from the surrounding soil. So if you're going to have that left, you've got a problem. That should all be removed. It doesn't matter what someone else says. Rake all of that out and then go in there and apply topsoil back in there. Then you can grow grass or whatever. If you're going to plant another tree back in a spot nearby, move it a few feet away so that you're not trying to plant it in exactly that same place.
Amend that soil a little bit too. I mean, absolutely, because
But don't amend it with the chippings that you
No,
chip.
no,
That's
Don't do that.
No. What are we going to amend it with? I mean, that's
Well,
kind of what we need to know.
there's some good choices out there in the marketplace, but it may not be apparent.
it's the only one choice in my mind. David
Well,
Bates.
There are many choices within Earth Mix Garden
That's
products.
true.
And of course, Earth Mix Garden products made right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're very proud of the fact that it's a 100% organic product. It's not just organic, though, Josh.
It's not.
It's also the most viable
It
and productive soil and soil blends that you can get in the market. Now, you talked about soil amendments. Earth Mix Landscape is a great product for that. But there are ready-to-use products such as Earth Mix Garden, Earth Mix Proganics O, Earth Mix Proganics I. Perhaps you want to add some just straight-out wonderful organic compost. Supernatural is your choice there. And there, of course, are other great choices. Viagra, which is earthworm castings. Magic, which is mushroom compost. And a host of other products. So no matter what you choose, you can be assured you're getting the best quality. There are never any reductive byproducts added to Earth Mix products. No. That's what back in the day we would call stepping on it. It's not cut with anything, and so you're going to find only the finest quality, pure products. And if you're looking for any of those, go to the Find Earth Mix tab at earthmix.net, and there you'll see the entire network of all the Earth Mix sellers around the southeast, and also Victory Gardens over here in Meridian, Idaho. So great folks out there. From North Carolina, Gardens by Teresa B. Bryant, down in Alabama, where Tyler hails from, Rudy's Nursery, and a couple of others throughout the state of Tennessee and Kentucky. Too many to mention. You can put your address into this box right here on the left, or just your zip code. It'll give you turn-by-turn directions to the location nearest you. Now, remember this. This is really important. Success in gardening begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products.
Absolutely.
And we are glad to help you have excellent success in your gardening and take the work out of it. Just what do you like to say, Josh?
Soil. Okay. Earth Mix.
That's right.
Plants.
Right.
Okay. Water.
Yep.
Sunshine.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you need.
So you don't have to do a lot of exotic things when you use Earth Mix. So thank you for giving us a moment to talk about that, to help you with your gardening endeavors.
And Joan commented that the tree guy told her to leave the shavings from the stump so it will fill in the hole. Wrong, Joan. Wrong.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with leaving it there.
It's just
except that nothing. You'll notice that nothing grows there. No, not even weeds.
Yeah.
And as it decomposes, the hole is going to come back.
So
it's not going to fill in there and stay forever.
Get it out of there, and it'll have dirt and wood all mixed together. Find out you've probably got some hole back in the edge of your property somewhere, but leaving it is not your best option.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Joan is a very she's an ardent gardener.
She's a conscientious gardener.
She's probably got a little Manus type tiller. Okay, get in there and till around in there, fill it in. Find some native soil to fill in the bottom of that hole.
Well, it's obtainable.
Yeah,
pre-screened and otherwise. So
definitely. Hey, Yvonne on the Bates Facebook page went back around to late bloomers and said my go-to late bloomers: sedums, asters, and if you planted it early, pineapple sage. But there's also other things blooming. Yep. And what are they?
What's in room with what? Epic fail. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, you got me all.
You know what? I can't even do it now.
Let's get that guy some more buttons over there.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. No, you're fine, Tyler.
What's 55 anyway?
All right, y'all. Things are blooming. Things are also getting ready to quit blooming. It's kind of hot, whatever. But hey. Our alliums, my ornamental onions, still blooming. They're about half done, but they look good.
Oh, mine look amazing. Mine aren't half done.
Mine are.
Oh, sad for you.
Okay.
Might have been gone a while.
Everything's weird. Yeah. Everybody has different stages, and it's funny. Daylilies this year have still been crazy. I've been talking about it every week. I don't even know what to think. Phlox has been huge for the past 2 weeks. Phlox. That upright garden phlox, y'all, it's so good. Hey, turtle head, we got a picture yesterday from a guest showing us her turtle head, and it was pink and cute and really looking good. Full, no pest pressure, no disease pressure, looking really good. Black-eyed Susans and Echinacea, still going.
Hey, You remember my photo from last week?
Yeah.
Stunning. And everyone was like, oh, Caroline, that's your garden? Oh,
the turtle head?
There's the picture of the turtle head. Look at that.
This comes from Joyce.
I don't even see a hole in a leaf. Like,
Joyce
good
also
job.
says, fantastic, this is one of her most well-behaved perennials.
It is,
And this variety, which is Hot Lips, she says she has in a lot of sun.
And it's handling
That's the
it.
one I have.
Not even wilting, looking great. Not, like I said, not even a hole in a leaf. Like, great job. Good work. Beautiful. Thank you. Cannas. Canna lilies are still blooming. The yellow ones, the red ones, all of them, like, still blooming. Hey, Caroline, clematis in my yard is still going, like, even better than last week. So there you go.
Well, my crossvine is really growing and no yellow
Your
leaves.
crossvine has no blooms
yellow
on it.
leaves.
Your crossvine has no
Doesn't
blooms.
need blooms.
Yeah, it does.
Looks
I got a bloom on mine.
What?
Uh-oh.
You heard that? You heard me.
No, I didn't.
I have a bloom on mine, Austin.
on his crossvine.
On your crossvine? Yeah,
Yeah.
one little random one. I got like 12. Like
Wow.
catch up, crossvine. Okay. I love clematis. Y'all know. It's better than crossvine. Okay, golden rain tree.
I
Still
think you
blooming
left
yellow.
out na 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 na.
Yeah.
I think he
No, it's
did.
neener.
Oh,
Yeah.
The golden rain tree still just going yellow. Just I love yellow. Crepe myrtle is y'all. Crepe myrtle season is right now.
Mine's still not blooming.
Girl, I don't know what's wrong with your yard,
Crazy.
but crepe myrtle around town is looking good. Mine's looking pretty good right now.
Mine are awesome.
Oh, they're awesome. And hey, Caroline, your mimosas, they're like reblooming. It's
They
like
are.
they bloomed, finished, and then rebloomed. It's
They
like,
said,
Here we
"Hey,
go."
Here I go.
And then Rosa Sharon, that old hibiscus that's just blooming. Dropping them blooms beneath the bush every day.
Yep.
Same with hibiscus, y'all. Hibiscus
Yes.
blooming, but also dropping blooms, and it's getting yucky down below the base of the plant. Get over there
You're
and
highly
clean up.
annoyed, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
He's
It's worth it.
He's
though,
annoyed
Austin.
on other people's behalf
I
because they're
know.
not cleaning
Y'all got to get
theirs.
out and clean up your stuff. Like there's just spent blooms beneath your plant.
Just let them stay. Break
No,
them.
don't let them stay, Caroline. Clean them up.
That's really the old time Althea form of hibiscus, right? That's what you're talking about because they'll drop them daily.
Yes, they
gosh,
do. They drop
bugs
daily.
easily.
Yeah. And they're all over the place, and they turn to mush.
Slimy, yes.
Slimy, yuck, mush.
That's what your bed
But you
looks
know
like
what,
right
Josh?
now.
You're right. They're worth blooming. I mean,
They're worth
growing.
Worth blooming.
Still. Okay. Butterfly bush, reish. I know you hear me. They're still blooming. Grasses, bridge, love you. You're just killing it out there. You know, two natives that are doing great. Clethra. We brought it in the room today. Do y'all even know about Clethra?
No.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Alnifolia?
Yeah, I mean, it's made the room smell fantastic. Me and Ryan were talking about the other day. It'll live in full sun, full shade.
I've got one
and
in shade, and it blooms
loves it
so much.
It
Yeah.
loves it, and the bees and the butterflies. Y'all, I got stung by a bee the other day because I backed into a Clethra. Tyler saw it. So did Caroline. They
they
saw me
laugh?
get stung by a bee.
It was,
was like,
it was dramatic.
"Ow."
It's the first time I've
That
ever
was a
been stung
bee.
by a bee out here. Y'all, we have bees like crazy.
Drama.
Like we grow plants. That's what we do. So the bees are crazy.
High volume.
And the pollinators love Clethra. If you're not growing Clethra, you need to.
You do.
It's beautiful, okay?
true.
And then another one, beautyberry. Y'all, we got a lot of beautyberry right now. Y'all come in and buy some. Like, it's pretty and it's blooming
pretty.
right now.
It's beautiful.
It's easy. Yeah.
It's so easy.
They
And
don't,
then
they don't call them beautyberry for nothing.
that's right. You're
Correct,
right, David.
David.
And then there's
That
a
is
few
right.
herbs that are still going, y'all. What I forget about the herbs. I don't know why I forget about the herbs, but I got dill, I got basil, and I got oregano at the house. All showing
My
off.
rue is
Okay?
blooming, and it's gorgeous.
See?
Big old
Rue.
yellow blooms. Actually, small yellow blooms, but very bright and vibrant.
Okay. Well, see, that's
Big
another herb.
personality, small bloom.
Oh, okay.
Like
yes, I love it.
Yeah.
And then, hey, surprise lilies. Just said it.
I've seen
Just
them.
said it.
I've seen
The
them.
surprise lily. Lycoris. Josh, you ready? Lycoris is the genus. The family, Amaryllidaceae.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know you love it. I know you love it. And then Tyler, get ready. I got some annuals going on. Look, we got marigolds, we got geraniums, we got begonias, we got vinca, we got impatiens, we got lantana. But the best one of all of them, Tyler, send it up right now.
Are you talking about
Bada
This, bam, at my house last night, Caroline. This is for
Oh,
you.
hey, Halloween bed.
You are all about the goth. You still have you still have that little piece of high school that you're still holding on to.
I do.
That stage of high
You know
school.
what? That's the only piece of high school I'm still holding
That's
on
right.
to, and I'm okay with
But
it.
you love the goth flowers, and look, I planted black petunias. Y'all, that's only 5.
I
That's
love that
5 I
so
planted.
much.
five?
Well, I see. What about the pink ones I see in
But
there?
David, the pink ones are the ones that the stupid chickens messed with. So they're not as full as I want them to. See that little gap right next to that?
Created this beautiful Halloween display because your ginkgo looks like a cat. Look, it's
My
2
ginkgo looks like a
ears.
cat.
More like
Yeah,
a bat.
I can
of
see
it.
it.
Yeah.
Cat
Yeah,
or a
it's got
bat?
some ears.
Well, you know what?
Thank you for that, Austin.
You're
Halloween
welcome.
has arrived.
You're welcome.
My favorite holiday.
I was actually in a Costco the other day, and they had Halloween
Oh, yeah.
outfits in
It's out.
July.
Halloween stuff was out the other day when I was shopping.
It's crazy.
Is that
And
all
you know
you
what?
had in bloom?
No, I got one more at Mama's house. Tyler, throw that one up if you can, real quick. Mama, shout out. I love you. You're a saint.
Oh.
I like your mom's shutters.
Oh, my dad did that.
Oh,
He
yeah,
did
the
that by
shutters are
hand.
great.
He's
That's
been
nice.
working on that for a while. And like, Mama,
Just
look at your
that color.
hydrangea.
Yeah.
That's what
Look
you
at
call
that.
a well pruned in advance.
Oh,
I mean,
my brother actually
she-
pruned that for her
Is
this
that
year.
right?
Uh-huh.
He make a trip, especially over there for Mom.
Yeah.
He did a great job on it.
He did, and it is just stunning. Mama, you're a saint. I love you. She is just something, and that is beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
She's
Look at that
watching. I'm sure she's
hydrangea.
watching.
Well, put it on, lay it on there thick. You,
Uh-huh.
know, you probably didn't always act that way growing up. but-
Probably not. But I talked to her last night on the phone for like 30 minutes, and it was great. Mama, love you. Love that hydrangea. And that's what's in bloom.
Is that?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Very
It
nice.
is.
That's it?
Is that, do I hear?
What is that?
Bravo.
Does somebody
I
want,
think somebody's asking for an encore.
Oh, yeah. An
we need an
encore
encore?
performance.
I
from you.
I think we might need it. Yeah.
well, Tyler, let's do it. You know
Okay.
what? The encore. I'm coming back on stage. Look, it's the encore Azalea from
wow.
Emily. Emily out in Clarksville. God, you're killing it. Look, that's your encore Azalea.
Encore.
Hey,
Encore.
coming back on stage, just singing that blooming song. It's that song we all love, that blooming song. And your encore's blooming. Emily, love you. Thank you.
That is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
You've got that blooming feeling.
Yes.
Got that.
There it is. Okay, done.
Hey, I do want to
Look.
wrap back around to that turtle head photo of Joyce that we showed earlier because Joyce had a great sign off from her email that says, P.S. Austin is so extra.
Joyce.
Like literally right now.
You know what, Joyce? You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're
It's
welcome.
the passion
I just
for the
talked
plants.
about your turtle head. Like, great.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. I
And you
just
were
talked it
extra
up.
about it in the best way.
Well, good, Joyce. You're welcome. Thanks for the
So
turtle head.
whenever Austin is around and you hear Tyler utter the words high volume, he may not be talking about large numbers of plants. It may be an auditory thing.
Could be.
Hey, Tyler, while
be a
we're
bit-
on photos, can we go ahead and bring up? I know we have 2 more viewers that sent in some photos.
You want the onion or colon?
Whichever one you want to
She
put up
is
first.
so
Hang on.
good. She can go with whatever one.
I think let's
Whatever
go.
works
to
for
appeal.
you.
Let's go with the colon.
Okay. Colin, we haven't heard from you in a minute. So when your email popped up, I was so excited. So Colin says, again, one for Austin and one for Caroline. Both the clematis and the lamb's ear look great, even with this heat. So let's
And
throw them
I'm
up,
just
Tyler.
cutting cameras left and right.
Hey, call.
There's
That
the
is a
clematis.
cute clematis. I keep looking at it when we get them in here with these little bell shape, and I want them.
That is really awesome.
I like that.
Colin is a great gardener.
I like that call.
Ooh, that
Call.
is pretty. What variety is that?
Just
I can't remember, but
Colin, let
it's
us
looks
one
like
of
a
those.
little fairy bell.
I'm pretty sure it's a Monrovia plant. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
lamb's ear.
Oh,
That is
Man,
perfection.
That's the whole
That looks-
herd.
That looks way better than yours, Caroline.
you haven't seen mine.
Yeah, you told me about it though.
It looks fine now. I cleaned it up. It doesn't look this great though. So Colin, I'm so proud of you. Look at that lamb's
Yeah,
ear.
now what he's done a good job of there, particularly with that plant, is that it's in an area that drains really well, and that is
Yes.
absolutely. I mean, must do that in order to get that kind of look. If you've got that in an area that or even slows water down, it's
Is that lavender in the back?
I look like I thought.
Great work, Colin. We're proud of
Call.
you. Call. We're proud of you,
He
Call.
must have connections. He must know.
He knows people.
Know some
I
people
wonder where he gets his information.
and his plants. I
wow.
wonder.
Yeah.
And then there was one more photo, I believe.
Send it up.
Are you talking about
Send it up. Yes.
send it up?
So
I can't-
Joyce sent us a photo of her allium, which Austin talked about. It's one of his favorite plants in full bloom right now. Some are kind of going out, but hers has something weird going on. So she sent in a photo, and I love that she circled what
That's
she
great.
is talking about.
She's got
Fantastic.
magic marker stains on her allium.
Yeah, weird.
That's
Oh
the
my
problem.
gosh.
Now, Caroline showed me this yesterday, and I looked at it, and it's from a bloom spike that came up, or a bloom stalk, I guess you would say, to produce blooms, just like those purple ones you see. And then it decided to send vegetative growth up from that rather than a bloom, which is weird. Okay, things happen in the plant world that I can't.
Even you can't explain.
Even me, David. No,
Whoa.
it's just weird. Like that type of growth. A lot of times it'll be like, say, a virus or something like odd within a mutation within the plant, which this could certainly be. But I looked at it and it just doesn't look weird or bad. It just looks
strange.
So cool. Like when we find things like this in plants, like it's just cool to look at. Like I was looking at the lower, those little bloom pods. I was asking Carol, I was like, do you think those open already or they haven't opened yet?
They don't look like they
I don't think they've opened yet. And I don't know that they're going to because the random vegetative growth sprouted up in there.
But
Almost looks
they
like they got
might
nipped
be
off, too.
They might be so maybe late developing, and they will still open up. Maybe not as spectacularly as the early flowers. So that's a possibility. But I'm sure we'll get to revisit this subject again because something will happen, and then we'll get an update.
Oh, yeah.
Still growing.
Keep us updated.
Yeah.
All right, we got a live question in from Yvonne. Nope, sorry, that's the wrong viewer. I'm on the wrong page.
Come on, Caroline.
No, we got a live question. I'll go back around once I get to that page. Planted a snow flurry camellia this past fall, and it's struggling. Only one small sprig at the base is alive. What are the ideal conditions to make this plant happy? Thank you for all you do.
Well, you're welcome. And you planted it last fall, which was a camellia, and we had a rough winter last year. So you
That
probably
happened.
didn't do anything bad or anything. It was Mother Nature getting cold. We got to negative temps with a camellia, and they don't necessarily like that.
Nope.
So you've got one little sprig, which is good. It means it's alive, but it's just slow. I grow camellias at the house, and they're just slow to move.
But so worth it.
I think
Might
they're
have
worth
dived
it.
back to the ground twice now, and they're this tall. So
I know, and that's probably what this guest
I
is.
feel
is
you. I feel you,
going-
Kelly. It was Kelly that wrote that in.
Kelly Rue 3.
That's
Hey,
right,
Kelly.
on our YouTube.
So you can, like in the spring, fertilize, keep it healthy, give it some supernatural, some compost to keep it kind of growing. But there's not much you can do besides just be patient. It's a slow growing plant.
Yep. For what it's worth, my camellias look no better.
Mine aren't great.
Yeah. So
No.
we've had 2 winters actually back to back where we've had really it's been difficult.
Yeah, for camellias specifically.
And everyone has struggled, and because we're horticulturalists, we don't get a pass.
No, we do
Never.
not.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
There's probably a camellia tone.
Well, it's an acid-loving
Yeah.
plant. I mean, so the same thing that would work for azaleas would be the same thing. So holly tone is the one you would want to use.
Yeah.
And then Samara Dixon on our YouTube page says, what do I need to spray apple trees with and when? They are getting rust spots. I have junipers and apple trees, and is there anything else I need to be spraying them with? Planted this spring.
You need to call Joan and get the tree guy that she's got to go and find all the cedars in the area, right?
Well, that would help at least part of the equation,
Yes.
but that might not be enough. Austin,
Yeah,
tell her the truth.
At this point in the game, you've already got rust, and you're not getting rid of it with any magical spray there is. Okay, it's there. If you want to prevent cedar apple rust, which is a common pathogen that happens with apple trees and junipers, okay, if you want to prevent it, you must start early in the game, and you must start early and often. Okay, we have a lot of juniper here, cedar trees. We have a ton of them, and if they're anywhere near apples, I've literally read like within 20 miles of apple trees, you can see this problem. So at this point in the game, do not waste your money on buying any sprays. You're not changing anything. It is what it is. Let it be for this year. Let those leaves drop off. Clean up around the stem, around the whole plant. Spray over the wintertime with a dormant oil on all the stems. That will be helpful. And then let's play for next year, and we can prevent that.
If they were naming it accurately, it would be juniper apple rust.
If they,
Now,
Because we
does she spray the junipers too?
No.
No, just
No,
don't
you
worry.
spray your apple trees early and often.
Yeah, I mean, you could spray the junipers, and it might help because it is
That goes back and forth.
it passes back and forth, and so that might help. But what will really help is to be informed, and if you're living in an area where you've got a lot of cedar trees, that kind of thing, you might not want to plant apple trees. I'm just saying, you might ought to consider something else. And we have all kinds of choices
Pear
at Bates
trees?
Nursery and Garden. We have pear trees or peach
cherry
trees, cherry, yep, and those are not susceptible to that. So, might come out and see what we have. We've got a lot, and what we really have a lot of is expertise. We have a sampling of it here on the show every Saturday morning, but we have a whole staff of horticulturalists who can help you diagnose whatever's going on, help make suggestions for your specific area.
Yep.
If you'll bring out images of the area you're working on and of the perhaps problem things that you have, we can take a look at it, help you figure out how to get the right plants in the right place the first time, because that's the way we do it here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, where that my grandmother, Bessie Bates, 92 years ago, started this whole endeavor, and we're grateful to still be in the game and bringing Nashville, the finest in horticultural expertise and things to go in the garden. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about: trees, shrubs, ground covers, perennials, ornamental grasses, fruiting plants, you name it. If it's growing in the ground, or even if it's a tropical, and that's kind of in Caroline's world, we have all those things and a lot more. Come see us, Bates Nursery and Garden Center. And as we talked about at the top of this program, we've got a lot of things going on. We're about halfway through this pavement renovation project. So where you would now be shopping is quite nice. And the rest of it will be that way, but we're going to be at least another week yet before we get that new pavement put down. We invite you to come out and see us, mainly because Austin, Caroline, I say Owen gave a big assist.
Yes.
Andy was involved to some degree.
Mac,
Ben.
Mac and Ben. It took a group effort to get all of this pottery to the parking lot, and it has presented itself as a great opportunity to help you save money. We really don't want to move it all back, so you can come out, get all the pottery. All you got to be is a Bates Rewards member. 40% off. There's been no markup to market. There's none of that. It's the same prices that we've always had. 40% off on that. And to make sure that you have the right mix to go in those containers, Proganics O for outdoor, Proganics I for indoor plants. We've got you covered. Also, 40% on the bagged products of each of those. So come out and see us. We've got a great selection of plant material. The pottery is on sale now through the end of the business on Thursday. So hurry on out. We got a great selection.
Better get them while the getting's good.
We have so much, it's not likely we're going to get picked over, but you're going to more likely get the exact pots you're looking for. And if you've been kind of debating, well, I don't want to quite spend that much, here's your shot.
This is
Bates
the time.
Nursery and Garden Center.
Folks,
Get on out here.
I used pottery as a Christmas present last year, and it was a massive hit. The Carey family.
Nice.
I mean, to now,
Well, plus
it's just around the corner.
They take up
folks.
a lot of real estate
Yes.
under the Christmas tree also.
Well,
So,
they do.
It
You put
looks
them in-
impressive.
We didn't have
That's-
stockings so much. We had pots instead of stockings.
It's a great
idea,
Santa
Josh.
Claus. Santa
Think
Claus
ahead.
filled them up.
You could, you could do it for Halloween
Yes.
enhancements. Since we talked about.
Oh, yes. Halloween
There you go.
presents.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Season.
That is something you should do. I know I'm definitely going to buy like 6 bags of indoor at 40% off. So I'm stocking up
there you go.
on things. Hey, we got a follow-up question
Yep.
from Samara on YouTube. And I just want to go ahead and say there's no such thing as a stupid question. This may be a dumb question, but what is dormant oil?
Oh,
Oh,
Not
Samara.
a dumb question.
No, that's not
No.
a dumb question at all. Dormant. So whenever plants are dormant, that's during the wintertime. They have no leaves on them typically. They're not growing. They're dormant. And there's an oil that you can coat on the stems. And this is mainly for fruit trees. It's other things too, but mainly fruit trees. Okay.
And
you're
it's-
gonna-
Another deciduous.
Yes.
Yes, deciduous plants, and what you're gonna it's an oil that you would
mineral
spray.
oil, right?
Yeah, horticultural oil. I mean,
Paraffinic oil.
yeah,
Paraffin.
and what it does is that it coats the stems with the oil, and any like overwintering eggs of insects get smothered.
Scale in particular,
Scale,
yeah.
mealybug, any
Yeah.
of the ones that are just nasty.
Also great on conifers.
Yes.
Yes, great on conifers.
But you've got to do it while they are
Dormant.
Dormant. Yes, you should not use that. Now there are some lighter versions of horticultural oils that can be used at this time of year, but the true dormant oil is too heavy at this time of the season. So just, that's one of those, and it's the most economical and most effective spray you can get to control a lot of pests, but you kind of have to do it preventatively, or when it's, you have to be thinking ahead.
Yeah. And what's cool about Dormant oil too is that it's not a chemical at all. It's literally just an oil that
Suffocates them.
So you don't have to worry about like nasty chemicals you're spraying.
Nope.
So
it doesn't kill
cool.
on both ends.
That's right.
Nice.
So anyway, what's in
room with Caroline?
I know you guys
Nailed
got
it,
excited
T.Y.
when you heard it a little while ago, and then it didn't happen. Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk about what we brought in the studio this morning. We went with a white and green theme today. Cool. Yeah, we didn't get too colorful. So we've still got junipers in the corner. We just like those so much, we decided to bring them back because they fit perfectly. So clean looking. My gosh. And then next to it, we've got Silver King, I believe is what it's called, euonymus. So look at that. I mean, I feel like that's kind of an OG plant that people have.
Big time.
Been around. Been
around. You
Austin,
see it
have
a
you
lot.
ever been able to tell the difference between Silver King and Silver Queen?
Not really.
I mean, there are two different names, but they don't really look
the same
different.
to me.
And then Cleara, which we already talked about a little bit this morning, but it's super cute. These at least are just so compact in their pots right now.
I don't think we've ever brought in Cleara before, have we?
Not to my knowledge.
I don't think so.
And they have almost no pest issues at all. They're very clean, they were one of the plants that got used a lot back in the day. For those of you who remember red tip photinium.
Oh boy.
And we still
Mine
have
all
a
died
few.
in 2022.
Well, these don't have all the disease and pests. They don't give you that brilliant red, but they do have an interesting kind of a copper colored new growth on them. So
I love
they
that.
work well in many similar applications, just without all the disease.
I think these are called Bronze Beauty.
Yeah.
I do like how they look. I do.
Oh,
What?
we pulled back.
Yeah.
God, Tyler is fancy with his camera work. And then in front, we've already talked about this sedge a little bit, but if you're looking for something that likes the shade, this is a good one. This is called Feather Falls.
And it's making me crazy because I'm playing with
Yeah,
it.
both you and Austin, again, like cats playing with this. And then the little white blooms. If you're wondering what that is, I think Josh was like, isn't that baby's breath? It's not. It's a type of yarrow. It's called Peter
What?
Cottontail, I believe.
What?
Peter Cottontail, that's got to be
adorable.
the cutest
Isn't that the
thing I've ever
cutest
heard.
thing ever? I got
Yes.
so excited when I saw it, and Bridget was smiling when I turned around and had it. And she was like, we rarely get it in. We got it in like one time last year, but I mean, it doesn't look like your typical yarrow. I probably need to get one to try it out. And then we've got some hosta right beside.
like a
I mean, look at that
pinfishing
bloom
flower.
that's coming up right there.
Yep.
That's a hosta bloom.
That
There
is a
it
hosta
is.
bloom.
All right. Here you go. I'm going to pan the bloom down.
I love hostas. You guys know me. Oh, and then there's those colorful
Yeah.
leaves. Wow. And we already talked about what's in
Wow.
front of the table. Clethora.
Plethora.
I love it. It's called summer. Is it called summer sweet?
Summer Sweet's a common name, yeah.
That's a good common name for it. It smells so sweet in the summer. Aw. And then our feature plant today. Let's go ahead and come up to that hot plate, that Lazy Susan. Where is it, Tyler? Right there. So we've got a variegated phlox in today. I believe this one's called Nora Lee.
Wow.
So the leaves
Nora Lee.
have some green on the inside, like a very cream colored white on the outside. And then the bloom itself looks like my Bright Eyes phlox. I love phlox. Everyone should have some.
It's so
Even though
bright.
it can be a little finicky
Yellow.
sometimes. Yeah. But that's what we've got all around the studio.
Right.
So thank you for
Yes.
going on this tour with us this morning. Wow.
The variegated white and green. We just did it yesterday.
Austin did pick that one out. We did. Josh?
Josh
Can't
quit.
stop.
You're going to mess it up.
Nah, you can't mess it up. You're doing the same thing over here. All right, let's get back to some questions. My
All right.
gold flame honeysuckle has a number of yellow leaves on the lower half. Could it be too much water?
It could be, but it could also just be a natural phenomenon, which is what happens with a lot of plants this time of year, is that those lower leaves start to get a little yuck. I mean, it's just kind of part of it.
It's been stressful.
It has been stressful. And lately, we've been kind of droughty. It's been a little bit hot.
Stress.
But, you know,
He's a droughty chap.
yeah. But I bet it's still probably got blooms on it. I bet it's still probably got 80% of its leaves looking green and great. Like, that's a deciduous plant, y'all. We're going to lose some of those leaves during the season.
It
And then
happens
at the
with
end of
so
the
many.
season, they're all going to drop off anyway. and then we're going to play for next year.
Just like your clematis. I mean, you're like, it's perfect, but we all saw that there were some yellow leaves on that plant, and that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it.
Seriously.
Austin, you were.
She went there, Austin.
I did.
This again.
She does.
Three
It's an
yellow
art
leaves
form
out
for
of
her.
3,000 green ones.
But it's
What about
just a great example that this is what happens to plants. Even when you think they're perfect, they're going to get some yellow leaves. Let's go ahead and move to the next question. Oh,
Austin, weren't you talking about tomatoes that a fellow was growing?
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
What's
it
going
was.
on with them?
Same thing. Oh, yeah, the old farmer that I pass every day. He sells tomatoes. He sells them like 50 cents a pound. If y'all want some cheap tomatoes, come on out.
I bet they're good, too.
Oh, they're good. I bet they're Bradleys. He's old school. You know they're Bradleys.
Right.
And they're probably like 7 feet tall right now, y'all. And like from 2 to 3 feet up, all of those leaves are as yellow can be and look rough. Do not look good. And then from the 3 feet up to 7, they're
all red
green
with
and
the tomatoes
beautiful
on
and
it.
full of tomatoes.
They're a
It's just part of it.
vine.
Y'all, he grows them every single year. He's probably got, I don't even want to know, probably 500 tomatoes out there
oh gosh,
that he
I
sells.
can't even imagine.
And
Who
all of
brought-
them look like
Who
that.
brought the tomatoes in the office? I saw this a big.
That was Glenny.
Glenn. Shout out Glenn, one of our
Glenny.
delivery drivers. Love him.
Hey, tomatoes and eggs. What a guy.
Yeah,
What a
he
guy.
keeps us
Glenn's
supplied.
hens.
Glenn's hens.
Hens. Oh,
Hey, Renee commented on Facebook. Clethra, one of our dearly departed landscape designer Beth Flood's favorites.
No.
It's a
Yes.
native plant.
Yep.
it's one that
love it.
I know,
Fragrant.
and it is. It's one that I forget about. I don't know why, but you forget about it until it's in its bloom stage like this, and then you smell it and you see the pollinators on it, and you're like, why am I not growing this? Like, and now do know, y'all, if you're going to grow clethra, not in a dry spot. They like a
Right.
little bit of moisture. Okay, it's a rain garden plant that can live in kind of that wet area, so know that. But other than that, it'll pretty much live anywhere.
It will.
It's great.
I love it. I love mine, and I want more. Ben Trust got me mine for my birthday one year, so shout out Ben. Thank you.
Benny.
All right, bone set has started growing in my flower beds. Is it a weed or a plant?
What?
It's a weedy plant. Bone set, it's like
set.
it's a native little tiny flower that pops up. It's usually purple or white. It looks kind of like this.
Never heard a bone set in my life.
Well, I
So-
would say it's a
heard of it.
flower. I think it's cute.
I
but
had a
it will
bone
kind
set
of-
after it broke.
Yeah, I know, I was about to say.
But
I just
and it's a
haven't heard of
medicinal
that.
plant. I
Hurts
think hence
still,
the name.
too.
Yeah.
Native Americans used it for a lot of different things. But I mean, you can pull it up or you can leave it. If you leave it, it'll probably spread. But I think it's a flower. I think it's cute. And I
mean,
like it.
A weed is a plant that is somewhere where you don't want it.
Correct.
So if you don't want it there, pull it up. If you do, let it be.
Let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Yeah.
There we go.
But you stumped some people in this room who had
Well,
never heard of
a
that
bone
plant
set
before.
Never heard of it.
But you know what you have heard of?
What?
Hydrangeas.
Got him.
My
First
hydrangea
time
got
today.
slumped over from a recent storm. How do you get them upright?
go back to that picture your mom's got.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You have to prevent it, right?
Yeah, you typically prevent for that to happen, but if it's happened to you, you got to physically pull it back up. So this is like bamboo stakes or some wooden posts, some tomato sticks, whatever you're going to use to kind of get something close to it to where you can pull it up.
I say you stare at it as it is lying
Speak
on the
very
ground,
harshly
so,
to it.
so that you can learn the lesson that goes with failing to trim. No, it's not going to do that. But the human
Willpower.
part of the equation has to learn the lesson that, if I don't trim this properly at the right time, this is what's going to happen.
Lazy
Am I right,
daggone
Austin? I mean, your mom's
lazy hydrangea.
your
laying
mom's is a
down all day
perfect
long.
example of how beautiful they can be when you trim it out. Does it reduce the size of the flowers? Yes, it does a little bit, but that's advantageous. It increases the numbers of blooms dramatically. So you have many more, slightly smaller, but very strong stemmed, shorter stemmed.
Yep.
And therein lies the problem. We get these downpours in the summertime, and you've got those long, stringy stems and fewer numbers of larger blooms. They get weighted down. So I say stare at it.
Stare
I
at
say
it.
speak harshly to it. I didn't know what's going on.
Oh, I would yell at it
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Definitely.
We're going to have words.
Ooh, we got a
Bad
live
words.
question in from Miriam.
Hey, Miriam.
Miriam, good morning.
And best regards to Bob, our dear friend who took a tumble last week and
Oh, no.
had a fall, broke his nose.
Oh.
So, So best wishes, Bob.
On that note, we want to send a shout out to Risha too. I understand she's a little bit under the weather, so you get better, Risha.
Risha, get better.
Feel better.
Yep.
Risha
Look at
did
that
send a
butterfly bush.
great emoji that said hi right after you talked about the butterfly bush, which Austin had to buy, Risha.
I did.
Yes.
If you're wondering, if you're
Yep.
a new viewer, that happened last year.
So back to
Risha,
Miriam.
welcome.
Miriam says birds planted cherry tomatoes in a forgotten corner where they weren't watered, staked, or tended to in any way. Now they're loaded with fruit. Why are they thriving with no care?
Because that's what
That's
cherry
what they
tomatoes
do.
do, baby. I mean, that's what's great about them. They just drop. They just pop up, and if they do pop up, they're just going to take off.
And they're awesome.
And they're awesome. They
I
still
got a
taste
volunteer-
good.
I've got a volunteer from last year growing under the one that we started out with.
Yeah.
So I've got to go. My father-in-law used to have
Tap on
them-
that hard now, Josh.
I am tapping on it hard because I'm still upset about the hydrangeas. But Opa used to have one show up in his compost pile every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But only one.
I have little volunteers
one
all
great
over the
big-
place.
Huh?
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to have a little volunteer pop up, let it be.
Gorgeous.
You
Those
get
tend to
cherry
always
tomatoes?
do better
Oh,
for
yeah.
me, too.
Oh, they do. They're strong. Anything that comes up from seed naturally by itself is just so much like just it's in there. It's vigorous.
I'll have a
wants
little
to be
trail
there.
from where I cut my tomatoes back, bring them to my compost, and I drop some on the way, and then some will pop up. And I'll let them go, and eventually they get mowed down. But, you know, it's fun.
We always get pumpkins that come up
Yeah.
in the back of
Yes.
the.
They're the other ones.
We have pumpkins and gourds and that kind of thing to get left over, and so we kind of dump them in the back, and then sometime you go, oh, look at
Cool.
this.
There's some pumpkins over here.
Yeah.
Wow. Little volunteers. All right, I have a rosemary plant in a raised bed. The rosemary has grown into a bush and is no longer appropriate for the raised bed, so I would like to transplant it. I understand this can be difficult. What month would you recommend I try this, and how should I prepare the soil for the rosemary's best chance of survival?
I'm trying to think how that is inappropriate. Exactly. What is it that makes you go, oh no,
It's
that's
not okay.
It's
You need to put
obviously
something
happening.
up where people can't see it.
It's another one. It's another one at Austin's weeds at this point, so it's out of place.
You know,
They grow them as hedges in Texas.
yeah. And that's where they want to be, a really well-drained scenario. And it doesn't surprise me that you've got a really good-looking one in a raised bed.
Exactly.
Because raised bed typically drains a little bit better. And good news for you is that it's going to transplant easier than having to dig it up from the ground. In a raised bed, it's much easier digging.
You don't have to bend over.
Yeah,
so
you don't have to
much.
bend over. You can get a lot of the root system. The key is just, I mean, probably don't do it now. I mean, now I will say, if you want to do it now, you probably could, because rosemary is extremely drought resistant.
Yep.
Like, does not need added water hardly at all, besides right after you transplant it, make sure you soak it right after you replant it. So if you had to do it now, I guess you could, but let's wait a little bit. Let's wait till fall.
It just depends on how inappropriate it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's
weedy, man.
If it's taken on some form that makes you uncomfortable when you look at it, then perhaps. But if you can wait, or put a sheet out in front where no one can see it.
Give it a screen.
Yeah.
Bag it.
What's that shower curtain doing out in the garden? I've got an inappropriate rosemary.
Tyler, we got time for a shout out picture, the last one.
Yeah.
Real quick, just real quick. I got to give a shout out to my homie, my buddy, my neighbor.
Which
He's
picture?
a farmer.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
He's a farmer, and me and my daughter were hanging out last night. My 3-year-old daughter, look at her.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, look at baby Penny on that four-wheeler. She was driving it by herself.
Yeah,
nah, I'm
sure.
just kidding.
Right.
We took a huge drive last night just hanging out, and look at that soybean field.
Wow.
Shout out Jesse.
That's
my
a
next-door
great
neighbor.
picture.
Oh, and his beans are good this year. I went by, and he was mowing his grass. I was like, Jesse, them beans are money this year. And he was like, yeah.
Money beans.
Money beans, baby.
Austin,
Beans are
September
brilliant.
1st. September 1st is coming. Make a good friend of him. Baby.
Never confuse, never confuse soybeans with edamame. That's all I'm saying.
Don't do it. All right, final question of the morning. Planting raspberry bushes. That's all we got.
Plant
What
raspberry
do you need
bushes.
to
Yeah, baby, do
Just
it.
put them in the ground and
But get ready, because they take off and they are
Yes.
nuts. And hey, something I haven't done, but hey, Jill, you're watching out there. I see you. You know what? There's your wink. There's your wink.
Oh, she
Okay?
got it.
You got it.
Right at the end of the show. Perfect.
Man, that was quick today,
That
y'all.
was a fun one.
Josh,
I know. It's time to
Where'd it go?
I don't know. It goes like this a whole hour every Saturday morning.
It's flies
We'll come back
by.
and do it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
New stripes on the pavement next week. Come out to Bates, folks. You gotta come and get some pottery, man. Between now and Thursday,
40% off.
40% off any size, shape, and color that you want. I'm kind
All
of
out there in the parking lot.
yeah, they're gorgeous. Hey,
Pro O, Pro I, also 40 off.
yeah, but hey, we all thank you for participating. We hope like and share and tell everybody about us so we can really still come back, whatever they want to do. But it's
Absolutely.
nice if you help us out too.
Yeah.
We'll see you right here from the Green Room Studios next Saturday morning for Gardening Inside Out.